Hold it like it's your lover.
Welcome, hi everyone, to
Good
Ghost
evening.
in the Shell.
Movie
It's not the
review.
not the manga. That's what this is. I picked it up recently because I wanted to really compare it better.
He wanted to get into the nitty gritty of critiquing.
Unfortunately, it only arrived like yesterday, so I've only read first a couple chapters.
Failure.
But this is our discussion video
Should probably
because we haven't talked about it yet.
No. You keep avoiding the issue.
We wanted to save it for today, and I put out
Skin tight outfit. Yay or nay?
I put out a review. It's shit, but
Yay!
it's I'd say my review is worse than the movie.
Yeah.
Significantly worse than the movie for all you people who did not like the movie. But yeah,
Hey.
no, I said we're gonna do a discussion,
Yes.
and we're gonna do a discussion right now.
Otherwise, you have to edit that out. We can't do that.
Fuck, shit, whatever. May as well just delete the entire channel.
Okay. Wait, what? Just for Ghost in the Shell?
Okay, so
I liked it. It wasn't that worth it.
well, okay. First of all, Zach, I'm acting as the MC here. I was gonna say, so we all know how I felt about it in general, just. But how did you feel about the movie? It's like you jumped the gun, Zach.
I liked it!
You liked it. What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? If there's anything you didn't like about it.
The visuals were very pretty. It looked very distinct. It wasn't gunmetal gray. It was a lot of blue, but also other colors.
Yeah, that's refreshing because you see a lot of
Gunmetal
shit
gray.
out there that's just like bland looking.
Modern Warfare, the movie.
And yeah, no, and Ghost in the Shell, no, it's not original,
No.
but it's
a very colorful
being
Blade Runner.
cyberpunk in itself just is refreshing.
Yeah.
I
To
think
get away. Don't be realistic. I mean, have realism, but I don't want everything to be super realistic. I want a little bit of color. It's a movie. Have fun.
And that's what I like about cyberpunk in general, is that you have that grittiness and you have that bright neon, and it meshes together so well, I think.
Yeah. Metroid!
My Metroid just fell off.
He's running. He made a run for it.
He fell off the TV
We'll
and
have
took the
Wii bar.
the Wii motion sensor bar.
We'll have to deal with him later.
Well, shit. Well,
Anyway.
and it is different than what we're used to seeing in movies these days.
Yes.
There's not a lot of cyberpunk,
Yeah.
especially these days. Like there's like
Yeah, it's true.
the most cyberpunk we get lately is sort of like
a remake
it's
of Blade
technically cyberpunk. Well, it's not a remake; it's a sequel.
Oh, right.
But we get a lot of technically cyberpunk movies, but they're not like
visuals
true cyberpunk, like Ghost in the Shell or like Shadowrun.
Also,
or
I like
Blade Runner.
to see things that are not like 100% functional. You know what I mean? Like, don't
Yeah,
I don't want to see this is for this. I want to see this is a Rube Goldberg thing for this.
Yeah, you mean like the sort of like the worn down sort of broken.
unnecessary
feature.
extra details.
Yeah. Oh, and that's the thing I love about cyberpunk is just wires and
Yes.
cables and.
Why does everything have to be clean in the future?
Yeah, I like that. But like,
Have you ever looked at the back of a computer before?
Like I'm saying, Ghost in the Shell doesn't do anything new in that regard, but the fact that it does that, where everybody else lately is doing either the super clean future or, Star Warsing it up.
Pretty post-apocalyptic
The
here,
the very distinctive cyberpunk look
Yeah.
we don't get in movies a lot.
which is very good.
Yeah, I like it. That's
Yeah.
mostly what drove why I liked it.
Yeah. Well, that was a really good thing.
What'd you think about the acting?
That was all right.
alright.
Nothing brought me out of it.
Yeah,
Like,
no, not even
it's-
ScarJo's performance. A little
You mean her robotic performance that you complained about?
Yeah,
I did notice that. She was walking and her head would turn and then her body would turn. And not like a person would, like a robot would.
yeah.
And I chalked that up to her not knowing anything about who she is and just sort of like, fuck it, I'm a robot now.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot that, like in the original movie,
I haven't seen that for years, so.
yeah, I rewatched it just
This
before I
guy
went to see it.
prepared for this.
I was like, Ghost in the Shell's coming out. I'm gonna do a review. I'm gonna watch the movie again, and I'm gonna watch Arise because I haven't seen that yet. And I wanted to read this, but it came a
Didn't.
little late.
Failure.
So far though, it's very different.
Yeah.
Motoko, the Major, is a completely different character.
Yeah.
She's like, in Evangelion.
I haven't seen it.
At all. You haven't seen any Evangelion?
No. It's on my list.
Okay, Evangelion.
Listen, whoever you are. Yeah, you in the back.
I forget her name, but the adult lady that like takes care of Shinji.
Oh, okay.
She's
I've seen the movies. That's it.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. She's the same character archetype as
Okay.
her. So she's like drunk and like loudmouth and kind of like rebellious.
Oh,
or
really?
whatever. Yeah, it's really strange.
I watched the anime mostly of Ghost in the Shell, like Laughing Man, 12 people, whatever.
I haven't seen all the way through.
I haven't seen everything, but I have the supercut like Laughing Man series and the other one, which is missing a bit. It's like Dragon Ball Kai.
Okay.
It's not Dragon Ball Z. It's Dragon Ball Kai.
Bridge version.
In a way, yeah, to make it like a long 90-minute movie kind of thing, but not a movie, just long.
Right.
Which is fine because I really like the Laughing Man whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, each version of Ghost in the Shell has a recognizable villain.
Yeah.
In the original movie, you have the Puppet Master. In Standalone Complex, you have the Laughing Man. I don't know if they do a different character.
There's a thing after that.
There's another arc.
There's like the 12 Angry Men.
Yeah, so there's a Laughing Man arc, and then there's another arc. And then in Arise, you have the Firestarter backstory, right? Or not the backstory, but the meta plot that ties them all together.
Sure.
But in this, I mean, because they're borrowing so heavily from the original movie.
Yeah.
So in the trailer, you get it's like, okay, that's the Puppet Master, I guess.
Puppet-like.
But he's not at all. He's not like we're going full on spoilers in this, by the way. Like
they're past.
He's not like because he's not even the villain, and it's like okay, that's sure.
He's the one who's been wronged and is getting revenge.
Which I mean, that's something you see in movies a lot lately. It's not a bad story arc, I don't think, but it wasn't done in any original way. Yeah. I do like how it was
kind of shown in the trailer a little.
Yeah, like it goes a lot into. The whole memory wiping, and that's that they rearranged the Major's backstory for it to fit with that and have a thematic overlap. Which, but I mean,
well, I liked her interactions with her character with the other people. Yeah, like with Baoto. He was cool. I liked him a lot.
See, I like Baoto, but he doesn't feel quite like Baoto. I mentioned this in my review. Togusa is just not Togusa. He's the human. He's the human, yeah. He's the guy who's completely organic, completely human. Like I
did like that they made a point to mention that.
Yeah,
at least.
He's there. They're all there except for.
Well, we didn't get a lot
Paz.
We didn't get a lot of time with the rest of them. No, that's why
we didn't get any time with the rest of them. There's one shot with Saito when he's sniping.
Yeah,
he's like, "Hey, Saito, do you have that shot?" Yeah. He doesn't even say anything.
I know, it was really surprising because it's like there's his eye plugged into the gun, and it's like, oh. He's in this movie. Cool.
Ishikawa has a couple lines.
Yeah.
I think because he's the one that got the
liver.
The liver enhancement.
Yeah, that's right. Because it's been a while, so I gotta get the names back.
I forget the other guy. He starts with the B as well, not Bato, but another guy with the same sort of eyes, cyborg eyes enhancement. As Bato.
Doesn't he? Oh no, that's a sniper.
He has two. Yeah,
I forget.
But I forget his name.
Yeah.
In the anime, he's usually portrayed as a more portly guy. Unfortunately, character.
Not remembering him,
but he plays a very small. I mean, I didn't actually know of the character until I watched Arise because they featured the characters more a bit more prominently.
Okay.
He was in there.
Yeah,
you see him in the wide shot with all of them near the end.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Like, they weren't. It wasn't because it wasn't about them. It was just
of course,
focused. Like,
I mean, in the original movie, they're not even like mentioned.
Yeah,
he doesn't even get a name drop.
If we had like maybe another movie or something, we could feature them a little longer.
They're only ever really like mentioned in the anime series, or I don't know, probably this. Probably
maybe
this.
Stop flaunting.
I know there's a 1.5 like. There's Bato, but like there's part 1 and part 2, and then there's a 1.5 that is like all side stories. But the problem with Tokusai is that he's supposed to be like the point of the character is that he's this family man. He's completely all natural.
Yeah,
he doesn't have any of these implants. He's full human.
He has the add-ons.
He's a family man. Implants. Yeah, and he's not like he's a cop. They brought him as a cop to be part of these like
a proper
mercenaries, right? Because they all have like military backgrounds, except for him. He's a cop.
Yeah,
and he's supposed to be like the grounding character, but in this, he was the complete opposite. He was the more grounded, like he was like serious, and he wasn't like the lighter, friendly.
And I chalked that up when I saw it to just we didn't get enough time with him.
Yeah,
like if it was outside this movie's plot, then there would be something more. And
those are minor issues. Like we're talking about side background characters, right?
Like nothing majorly
the focus
detrimental to the movie, but it's just too bad.
Yeah, I didn't even have a problem with Bato or Aragaki because I mean it's cool. It's like he doesn't have his eyes. but then we see an accident where he gets that, which is cool.
Yeah. Well, that was the first thing I noticed when they started. It's like, oh, so they got rid of Balto's eyes? Then I forgot they saw production stills later. Like, oh, there it is.
Yeah. It's an adaptation. So there's certain measures you can take as an adaptation without like ripping on the.
Plus, there's a lot of things to work with to put into one movie. Yeah. Which they may not make another movie, so they got to put all that stuff in one. Plus, they have to make it appealing to a mass audience.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like, you get that explanation of it, and so that's fine. Aragaki, at the beginning of the movie, Beat Takashi was kind of like, whatever. Like, he kind of felt like he was phoning. He
didn't want to be there.
He didn't. Yeah, he really did not look like he was on. Like, he wanted to be on set, but. Like, there's a couple scenes near the end where shit starts rolling. And
he's like in his car?
Yeah, the car scene where he gets attacked
by
by the real villains. Yeah, the tactical squad,
the stormtroopers.
Yeah, the stormtroopers, and he kicks ass.
Yeah,
and that's
with
awesome.
A briefcase and a gun.
And then he even gets to do the final shot on the.
Although when that guy when the cutter stood in front of him, I'm like, he's gonna fall into the back. Boom.
Yeah,
called it.
But so that was cool. Yeah. But the major is the biggest issue because the biggest issue with the movie is that it is a Ghost in the Shell adaptation.
Yeah.
Because
it's not a direct translation.
It's not even that it's an adaptation that's the problem. But the problem is that it is like, we're Ghost in the Shell. We're going to mention Ghost or Shell in every other line of dialogue. We have the major, and we're name dropping and even visual dropping. Like, I mentioned this a lot. There's scenes that are straight out ripped out of the original movie.
I did like the part where you just randomly see somebody's multi-picture. Yeah.
Yeah, like you have the finger going.
I forgot about that scene until I saw it. I'm like, oh, they did that in the show series.
And it was a completely different context. But there's one scene in particular where the major is swimming. Right, she's taking a dive.
Oh yeah.
That scene is completely different context in the original anime movie, and it feels more important. It's more poignant. There's a point to it. There's a reason why you're seeing that scene. In the movie, it was just kind of like she just wanted to escape from everything that's happening.
Oh, when she was in where the jellyfish things are.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just kind of like, okay, you're just throwing this in for visual fan service, but it doesn't really.
She was going there to relax and cut off the world.
Yeah, but like it wasn't like. We don't
have that much time in the movie.
I know, but like you don't. The original movie was only 90 minutes too.
Yeah.
Like, don't forget this. Like, we're mostly adapting a movie that was already adapted, so already did all the hard work of cutting out the unnecessary stuff. And then like, just scenes like that. Like, it's constantly reminding you that it is Ghost in the Shell, and it doesn't. It lacks that. Sort of the depth of Ghost in the Shell, which I know a lot of people have a problem with. I liked the movie.
They have a lot of niggling bits.
Like, I personally feel that there are a few really, really, really bad parts about the movie.
Okay.
But there's more good ones, but the good parts about the movie aren't as good as the bad parts. But there's more of the good parts than there are the bad parts. So for me, that kind of
draw me a map of that later.
For me, I enjoy it. I liked it. I really liked it. I want to see it again.
Yeah.
But
I'm definitely gonna be buying it when it comes out.
It
bugs you
because it's constantly reminding you that it is Ghost in the Shell. You're like, hey, remember how awesome this was?
Maybe it's because I hadn't seen any of this beforehand recently that I had no problem with it.
There's like guys behind me like, oh, that's so cool. And it's just like, yeah. And
you're like, shut up, plebe.
This is cool. There's a lot of cool scenes. It's visually, done well. And it's just a lot of people associate Ghost in the Shell with being more philosophical, a bit more deep, which it lacked that. And again, that isn't an issue in the long run for a Hollywood adaptation. Yeah, that's going to piss off a lot of people. That part didn't piss me off.
Yeah. Well, like you saw that video a couple of weeks ago about another thing where it's like it's not made for the fans.
Yeah, Power Rangers.
Yeah, that's not what I meant. But
you were talking about something else.
Yeah,
that's the first thing I thought was Power Rangers.
No,
but actually, I kind of want to talk about that a little bit.
But it's it's like the adaptation isn't made for the fans. Specifically, yes, fans can appreciate it. But it's made for everyone else.
Death Note.
But the but the fans, like, they're going to be the major people who are going to basically rake in all the money.
Which I get, but at least
But I didn't think they disrespected anything. It's just...
Here's the problem. Like I said, they keep reminding you that it's Ghost and Shell. And the big problem is
maybe they did throw out the terms Ghost and Shell a little too often.
They were like hammering it on the head. Like, this is Ghost and Shell, guys. This is what you wanted, right? But...
Hey, as long as you have robot body parts, I'm
What
fine.
really bothered me was, at the end, when you have the scene with Koze, with Koze and the Major.
Yeah. At the treehouse?
No, not at the tree, but like at the end when they're like lying down.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
There was the scene where she's like ripping off the spider tank.
That was taken.
That's directly out of the anime.
I remember that,
and that's awesome. Like I was so happy to see that. I didn't think they would do that, but like it becomes almost shot for shot at the end. Yeah. But they change all the dialogue and all the context because they sub in Koze for the Puppet Master without having the Puppet Master's story or importance. And it's just like, okay, this, like, I respect that you're doing a different villain, a different story. Like, but don't do half measures here. Don't say this is a completely different story, different character, different everything, but then give him scenes for another character. That part bugged me. Again, like I said, Scarlett Johansson. Again,
it also probably helped that I didn't see these.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson's performance just didn't feel like she got the character, or the director didn't get the character. And the fact that, like, all right, okay, I got over it. Okay, you're constantly saying that, yes, I am the Major, Mirai Killiam, and I give consent. It's like, okay, we get it. You're not Motoko Kusanagi. We get it. And then to say, oh yeah, by the way, I am Motoko Kusanagi. I died. They took the brain out of a Japanese teenage rebel girl, and put it into the cyberbot. It's like, okay.
That's how they explain why she's not Japanese.
Like, here's the thing. There's a lot of people that are pissed off about the fact that she's not played by a Japanese actress.
Yeah. I thought that was a good idea.
I get it.
Because if they're going to cast someone like ScarJo for the star power, etc.
Exactly.
I thought that was a clever workaround.
I get that's why.
Because it makes sense.
But here's the thing. I get that casting Scarlett Johansson because she's,
star
big
power.
Name. And they love her in Japan. And,
do they?
Yeah, no. And they had no problem with her, the Major not being played by a Japanese actress. But... the problem, see, that's when you get into the problems, is saying, oh, it's not a Japanese actress because we took the brain out of a Japanese girl and put it on Scarlett Johansson. No, I feel like it would have been better if they had just not brought that identity into the character issue.
Well, her dad could have been white. You never know that.
But that's not even an issue. That's like bringing that character arc for her was half-assed. And I feel if they had just stuck to, this is the Major, not Motoko, not Mirai Killiam.
Well, I guess they had to give her a name eventually, though.
They didn't, though. Like, because by the end of the movie, it's, yes, this is the Major.
Because then everyone would be complaining, well, what's her name? It can't be Major.
But that's the thing. Like, you don't need to give her a name. Just the Major. It would accentuate the badassness and how she's awesome character. But instead, they had to make her vulnerable, which I guess you want a character arc, but the character arc wasn't really done all that well. And, like, just call her the Major. Commit to that. Just the Major. We don't have to worry about... You don't have to, like... I don't know. Like, because that... It's, like, the half measures. And there's a lot that they could have avoided. A lot of bad turns they could have avoided.
So clearly the spider tank upset you.
Yeah, oh my god. Why do you have to call it a spider tank?
Because it's not a Tachikoma.
Like in any other... Like, I see a spider tank in anything and I get excited. But you see a spider tank and you call it a spider tank, it's not a Tachikoma. Or here's the thing. It's
they're not ready with Tachikomas. This is like the prototype.
So many different versions, though. There's so many... In Arise, you have Logikomas.
Yeah.
In the original manga, it's Fujikomas. And then in Standalone Complex, you have the Tachikomas. So it's like...
They're not there yet.
It's some name.
This is like the early prototype.
Yeah, but it's something along the similar naming scheme. Like just, oh yeah, bring in the spider tank.
Yeah.
We need the spider tank.
You remember who was saying it, though? Mr. Dumbass.
Yeah, I know, but like...
And all the scientists are probably sitting on the intercom going, that's not the name!
Yeah.
We spent all night on the name!
But here's the thing. In the original anime, what she fought wasn't a Tachikomo.
Yeah.
It was a tank.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's the spider tank.
Well, yeah, because it's a tie-in to the fact that it's Ghost in the Shell, so it has to be spider-like.
It's, I don't know. Like, I don't know. There's some things that just bothered me. Like I said, I still like the movie.
Which is funny because you just spent a lot of time sounding like you didn't like it enough.
I know. Like, that's why. That's when you get into the spoilers, the details of the movie.
Yeah.
It's realized that...
Like, you liked it, and now you're asking, why?
I liked it, but there's so many missteps that they took that, like, I can get over when I'm watching it if I try to remember. Just try not to think about it as a Ghost in the Shell movie. But
you're not watching a live action of the anime. You're watching an adaptation of the lore translated into Hollywood.
It's doing its own thing, but it's not doing that thing. It's like it's trying to do its own thing, but at the same time, it's falling back on the old stuff, but then not doing that properly.
Okay.
I felt that they had just get those visual they get the shots and now that get that and not really get those get those things in there, but don't rely on the story. And if you're gonna do your own thing, commit to doing your own thing, and not try and make half measured compromises.
Well, they didn't want it to be shot for shot remake either.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just saying do their own thing, but
and they did, and you don't like it.
No, they did their own thing, but only halfway, and then they filled it in with the original stuff rather than just again the dog. The dog, the dog, the one dog that that one dog the beagle, the beagle.
I forgot his name.
There's a beagle in the original movie. It doesn't it doesn't have a role, but it's there, and that's oh yeah, the beagle, it's the beagle,
Snoopy.
And then certain shots and use the fight scene in the water. I like the fight scene in the water better in the live action movie than the original anime. It was really well done.
There, one for the pro.
But there's there's things that did okay. There's things that did right. But if they had committed to doing their own thing, telling their own unique story rather than relying on older story elements, and then getting mixed, I don't know, because you're taking here's what they did, here's what we're doing, but we're lazy and we don't want to think of everything, so we'll take things from that, but then we keep reminding people that's what it used to be, which makes it seem worse. If you know what I mean, they kind of shot themselves in the foot by doing that.
Sure.
Instead of committing and being completely original while still being in the world that they've established, which they did a good job establishing the world. Right?
No one's around.
They did a good job doing that part. So if they committed to doing their own original story without doing whatever I've been repeating over myself for the last 30 minutes now?
I don't know.
The
stopwatch only goes up to 10 minutes. You liked it, right?
I did. But I have issues with it. My issues aren't as big as other people's issues. Yeah. And you don't have issues with anything because you're Zack.
Yeah.
I
liked it.
You like a shit on a stick.
No.
You'll probably enjoy the Emoji Movie. You're probably gonna walk out of the Emoji Movie and be like, yeah, it was pretty good. It's kind of enjoyable.
I watched the trailer thinking, those jokes are funny. Why does this movie exist? I disagree with the fact that the movie exists.
I don't actually want to, I want to make a comparison to the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Because I was not expecting to like Power Rangers at all.
Neither was I.
I was like, fuck, this is going to be shitty.
I sat there going okay, buy my tickets. Why am I doing this? I know it's bad. Why? It's bad.
I enjoyed that.
I know.
Quite a bit.
I thought the characters were fun.
But here's the thing. Power Rangers was clearly it took its original source material and it was doing its own thing with it. It took the characters.
But then what we got
it's the opposite of Ghost in the Shell. But then it was
3/4 of teen angst.
But it's the opposite of Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell nailed the world, but kind of failed on the characters, and only half measured doing its own thing. Power Rangers did its own thing, committed to it, and got the characters really well. They did really well in the characters, but the worlds and the world building was shit. The designs, I mean, I actually kind of, the suits kind of, grew on me. I don't hate them anymore.
I don't hate them either, but they're too complicated. Yeah. Any superhero movie that gets translated.
The Crytek, Crisis suits, right?
Yeah.
Again, I don't hate it anymore. I got over it. But
Goldar and the Megazord.
Goldar and the Megazord.
There's your answer.
I hate that.
Remember, his shoulders were up here. Now they're down here.
That
And apparently Goldar, or the Megazord, was basically a copy of Goldar. I read somewhere, like that's what it transformed into. Like I don't get that. See, I still have the original Megazord toy, and everything fits into place. You can clearly see this opens, this attaches, that goes there. But the new one, I think it's Max Steel with a paint job.
Yeah, but my point is they're like, see, they both got half of the formula right, like, but Power the opposite sides of the formula. Too. Huh?
Power Rangers should have been a little shorter too. I think it went on a little too long.
I don't think so. I think the pacing was fine.
No, it was fine. It was just I don't know, too much human stuff.
I actually got into it a bit, and
well, it was also like they go to the cave, they leave the cave, they go back to the cave, they leave the cave, but like,
well, see, it's not that
I can't tell you my secret. Okay, now I'm going to tell you my secret. Okay, but I can't.
Yeah, okay. It's not that there was too much human stuff. It was not enough Power Rangering.
Yeah,
and that was the
for a movie called not Mighty Morphin, just.
Yeah, it is even like Power Rangers, like Power Rangers.
Yeah,
bottom of the screen.
Yeah,
Power Rangers.
And I thought that was a bad sign because the last movie the director did, Project Almanac, vomit.
Yeah, but oh man, when they first bring out the Zords, that was awesome.
Wait, when Zack takes the test drive.
No. When the theme,
when the theme music popped up.
The theme, that was awesome. That was cool.
Once it became a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie.
Yeah. But like, yeah, they faltered on the world building and making it feel like a Power Ranger world.
I did like the Green Rangers thing.
Yeah, and then they did really good making the characters feel like good characters and with more depth. Whereas Ghost in the Shell took characters that had a lot of depth and like watered them down quite a bit, but then nailed the world.
This was about Ghost in the Shell, right?
Yeah, it's just I'm using Power Rangers.
I know. But we're easily going to start talking about everything.
It's exhausting thinking about that.
I think you need to lie down.
Is there anything you want to add? I know I kind of like rambled.
I know.
And like.
Well, you had issues.
I have issues.
I wasn't that complicated.
No, yeah.
I liked it. I would see it again, and if they make a sequel, I say yay.
I don't think it's gonna. Apparently, it
I
bombed.
Know, underperformed. Not even bombed, just underperformed. Therefore, will not get a sequel.
No.
Which is unfortunate.
All right.
I wanted to see a big screen Laughing Man.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, Mike's gonna go take a nap. He's gonna go rest his ghost in a shell of some sort.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time.
If you want to see more of this, if you want to see more of these videos, let us know. If you want to hear us just debating, we can debate the best Sonic game. I don't think there might be much of a debate there. No. I think we're both pretty on.
That's the problem. We like it. We both like him too much.
We'd have the same one. I think it was the best. This is kind of three. We'll say
Generations.
I eventually played Generations, so I was going to say Adventure 2.
Oh.
I was going to say Adventure 2.
Out of the two, I'd say Adventure 1 is my favorite.
Well, fuck you! This is the problem! Thank you for watching. See you next time.
You won't see him again. I'm going to kill him now. See you next time.